More than one in every four children in England are dieting. That's quite alarming, isn't it? Including some who are at a healthy weight. Children as young as 8 are dieting, new research suggests. And as we know, dieting can be risky and harmful if not done correctly. Childhood obesity has also been increasing, but it seems to be increasing at a slower rate now. And 1 in 7 slim children are also now dieting. What is a healthy weight for children? Can we ever get the balance right? We know that children grow at different rates, and some of it when they're kids is just nonsense. My son's BMI, I was told at his school, was too high, but he was as skinny as a pipe cleaner. Do you think we're worrying about their health too much? Let's chat to Natasha Hodge. She's a nutritional advisor, friend of the show from Natasha is Wide-Eyed. Welcome back. How are you?
Oh, so nice to speak to you, Wayne. How you doing?
Always nice to have you on, Tash. You know that. How have you been coping in the heat?
All right, yeah, not too bad. I really enjoy the heat, but I did take 2 days and went to Thorpe Ness and had a float around in the sea, so I was lucky because I work for myself. So, yeah, very nice.
How lovely. It's beautiful down there on that coastline as well. Listen, Natasha, here we are still talking about children and their weight. Are we really kind of overcomplicating this? Should we be worried? As I said, my son's BMI, I was told it was way too high. Children do grow at different rates. I hate to use this word puppy fat, but I was always told that existed when I was little. And people, some children do grow into themselves, don't they?
Absolutely. I think the problem really has come from the fact that we have got this National Child Measurement Programme that started in 2006, and they're very much focusing on weight, and really and truly, from my point of view, it's all about quality, not quantity, and it's very worrying that children are focusing on trying to diet, especially, of course, those who are of normal weight. I say that in inverted commas because, as you say, children are going to be different. We're all made up differently. We've got different parents. We've got different ways of eating. But the main focus should be what they're actually eating. And to be honest, these days, the UK diet isn't correct for human weight anyway. It's we're concentrating as well on the fact that we're looking at unobtainable perfection, aren't we, from social media. The children these days, of course, have got far more pressures than we had when we were young.
I agree. Listen, I remember being at school back in the 1980s, early 1990s. I remember having school dinners, and when you walked into the school canteen, it was all really, really fatty stuff. It was burgers, it was chips, it was, chocolate cake and custard, stuff that was really calorific. But do you know what? Back then, very, very rare you saw a child overweight.
Yeah. Absolutely. But the thing is, Wayne, what we're getting now is the food landscape, yes, definitely changed in the 80s. And that came from, farming out dinner ladies who actually cooked real food. And then it all became, franchised. And so kids were fed badly. But what we've got now is that you're not getting the home-cooked food as well as that junk food. So people were still cooking fairly, regularly, and people were sitting at the table. But now we've got an increase in chemically enhanced food. We've got takeaways everywhere. Yeah. And so now we've got the problem with children not being properly educated about food, but also having food everywhere. So they're not just, they're snacking in between meals, and then they've got the sort of deprivation side of things where people are saying, you must diet. And
yeah,
so
but do you not agree we shouldn't be putting that pressure on children? Everywhere we look, people are talking about weight these days. Yeah, and as 100%. an 8-9-year-old, you shouldn't be worrying about your weight. You shouldn't be on a diet. What kind of parent allows their child to put themselves on a diet?
Yeah, I don't think I think often the parent isn't aware that the child isn't eating. They'd be quite secretive. But I 100% agree with you that they should not be even worrying about what they are eating. And if we changed it entirely and said, okay, let's just concentrate on feeding children real food, so that's meat, fish, dairy, eggs and vegetables, and cutting out all the other stuff, we'd also have their brains would be properly nourished. And that's another problem, you see, because our children are malnourished because they're not being fed the right human food. Their symptoms of depression and anxiety are the same as malnutrition. So you're getting deficiencies in D3 and B12, and that's making the cycle 100% worse. So then they've got the social media thing on top. So if they're already chemically imbalanced, they can't properly think on a positive note. They just can't. They actually have a negative chemical environment.
The fact that we're talking about this now, though, just tells you just how completely, fascinated we are with people's weight, and I'm sick to the back teeth of people being judged by how fat they are or how skinny they are. It really gets my back up.
And also, it's unobtainable because the images that they're seeing are not real. We have to keep, and that's really what we want to instill in our children, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is literally like somebody painting a picture of what is healthy, and it isn't healthy. You can't tell me that going under the knife to have, your ribs taken out so that your waist is smaller and maybe, fat sucked out of your stomach and put in your backside.
Oh, dear me. Natasha, you're putting me off my sugar puffs.
But you see, our children not only have it from the actual diet itself, the food that they're eating isn't up to scratch and it isn't providing the things. They're also then got the emotional and social pressure.
So, again, we're running out of time now. The question that I started with, are we overcomplicating when it comes to our children and dieting? As long as they're sticking good food in their stomachs, let them be children and worry about that when they're a bit older.
Absolutely. But yes, definitely. You just got to concentrate on giving them real food. And if it also means that they're preparing the food at home with you, then that's even better. But yes, let them be children. Let them not worry about dieting. And to be honest, it's the same for everybody in this country. If we just concentrate on real food, our weight would just balance itself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, the problems affecting children are also affecting adults as well. As a child, you'd have your tea and you'd go out and you'd be running around a field playing football or making dents for hours on end. You'd be burning off those calories. We don't do like that. We don't live like that anymore. As adults as well, we'd be out and about a little bit more instead of sat down on our bottom behind screens. So, it's society. It's a sign of the times, I suppose.
Yeah, but we can change it.
We can change it together. Two people can make a difference, Natasha. Now, we're out of time. Give the website a plug.
Oh, check out my website, natashaswideeye.com. You'll see how I help you with how to eat for optimal nutrition, but also, more importantly, how to work on how you think and feel about food.
Your plugs that you do for yourself are getting better and better month by month, Natasha. Listen, nice to chat. See you soon.
And you, take care.
BBC Radio Suffolk, you with the Wayne Bavin Show.